So this is a video on salvaging some 18650s from a batch of laptop batteries that I've obtained. Not sure how many I got here, but a fair few. They were all going for recycling. The last time I'd done this, I got about half of them were sort of a moderately usable state. Although I was trying to sort of drive them quite hard on the discharge test. So I've got my ZBP 30 discharge tester. I've got this running in 4-wire mode, which basically means I'm using 2 wires for drawing the current and then 2 wires for measuring the voltage, and they just come up to the clips, and I'll fit these into an 18650 holder later on. And unlike last time as well, I've got my 4-gang charger. So these are, I think, the TP4056s, which are just like little USB powered lithium ion chargers. So I'll just gang them all together with some banana plugs, which I'll just put into my power supply. So yes, the plan is to strip all these down. I don't really have high hopes, but I was next to the bin when all these were going in the bin today, and I thought a nice evening project to have a play around with these. Right, I think we'll start by grouping my goodies together. I'm not actually sure what they're all out of actually. Some old Dells, I can't actually tell what they are. HP, more Dells. I've got 16 packs. The process basically consists of butchering them apart with whatever tools you can find. I won't spare you too much of the pain, but let's see how we get on. Oh, so these are Panasonic ones. They're nice batteries because they're pink. You can actually get your meter in, so I'll strip them down a bit more. But these Samsung ones are nice. So after a few minutes, got a couple open. I think I need to practice my skills again. A few cut fingers. But it's got some Samsungs here. Check the voltage, 3.9. 3.9, 3.8. So these are straight out of the battery pack, not been charged, nothing. These red ones, my general experience of them has been very poor. So 2.3, it's probably scrap. 2 volts, 2 volts, scrap as far as I'm concerned. 3.2, worth trying. 3.8, so that's in the good pile. 3.8, good pile. 3.8, so that's in the good pile. So essentially what I do is, if they come out of the battery pack with a decent voltage, generally 3.6, 3.7, they're almost certainly good batteries and worth auditioning. These ones that are coming out with 2 volts or so, essentially dead, and I'm not that interested. I might look at them later, but not a bad haul out of the first packs that I stripped down. that's only 2 packs I've broken down so far. We'll do a few more. Okay, so through the magic of television and editing, we've got all our batteries out. I've just got some on the first batch that came out at 3.9 volts. I thought to stick on the tester whilst I was taking the rest of bits. What we've got here, it's quite a mixed bag. These are 4 volts, so if I just rearrange these into so the voltage as I found them out of the pack. This one, these 2 cells either side were 4 volts, that one's clearly damaged, there's nothing. So these 2 are very likely to be quite good. So we'll put those up here. These were all quite good. These are 2.7s, 2.4s, 1.95s, 2.4s. So 2 volts, 2.7, 2.8. Probably not. These 3.2s, they're worth looking at. 2.9s, just about worth looking at. These I probably won't look at. So I probably won't waste my time looking at these ones. I may look at these later, just out of interest really. They're all Samsung and LG cells. These are all low voltage as well, so not particularly interested in these ones either. But these are all reasonable. 3.3, 3.39. I don't know what that one was. It says 2 volts, I think. Yeah, 2.19 that one. So I'm not really interested in that. So the next stage would be to strip them down further, clean them up, put them into the gang charger, charge them all up, and then do individual rundown tests on them all. And that will take ages, days and days of work. But yeah, initial impressions are reasonable. 50% of them are at least got a usable voltage on them. Basically anything below 2.8 volts is scrap in my mind. You know, they've just been sat there going dead or what have you. But anything that's way over 3 volts, 3.9s, you know, these must be brand new, I don't know. They're 4 volts, they are. One thing that has to be said when you're stripping these down is make sure that these are, especially these ones that are charged up, they've got a lot of energy in them. So when you're putting screwdrivers in there or cutting the wires, you know, you could get big sparks or they could get hot. So just be mindful that there's quite a lot of energy in these things, so don't monkey on them too much. So this is my 18650 charging rig. Not the tidiest of things in the world. It was actually a 4-gang one. I actually accidentally blew up one of the charging modules by putting the 18650s in the wrong way round, and it just blew it up. So I bought a pack of 5 TP4056s. Even though these have all got the same part number, I've bought them at separate times. So the earlier ones tend to have a blue LED that just flickers when it's idle and doing nothing. And then these newer ones have green in and they go red when they're charging. Not the tidiest thing in the world. I've effectively made a loop so the power goes in and out each one and then goes all the way back round to the beginning. I was running this off of my bench power supply, but it was current limiting at 3 amps when I was trying to charge all of these. So I've bought this chassis power supply. I've just done another video on about how the earth isn't connected to the actual metal chassis, and I've put this manual loop wire in there just to earth it down. But this is a 10 amp power supply. I'm going to use it for my WS2811 LEDs for Christmas, just on the outside of the house. Again, that used quite a lot of current, so this is a 10 amp power supply. I think this was about £7 or £8. Got it off of Amazon. So what I'm going to do is start putting all these on charge. I think we'll monitor the current. 4 amps. I'm glad I bought the 10 amp one. I was thinking of buying a 5 amp one. I think that's justified me going big on this. That's 6.5 amps. Crikey. That one's not making a connection, so I'll just tighten it up a bit. Alright, so that's 7 amps. Alright, okay, so this is the first time I've used this. I'm very glad that I bought the 10 amp version of the power supply. That's come down slightly. I think I'm just going to tweak this up a little bit. Just take that slightly over 5 amps, 5.1 I think I'll take that. That's 5.1 volts, and that's drawing 7 amps at the moment on the current clamp, which is reasonably accurate. Yeah, I was running that on a 3 amp current limit bench supply, so this should charge much faster now. But yeah, that's my 18650 Ghetto charging rig. So fast forward a couple of weeks, in fact probably about a month, and these are all the batteries that I've stripped out. I've capacity tested them all, and I've written down the amp hours on each one. They've all been recharged, and I've left them sat a week, so I'm now just going to go through each one and check that they've all held their voltage. So I'm basically checking they're all over 4 volts, 4.1 ideally. Quite a good turnout. Most of them turned out to be good, so I'll reorganise them into sort of how strong they are and come back. So out of 100 batteries that I salvaged, give or take, 32 batteries I consider bad, which just basically means they've got a low amp hour. That one's 1.3, which is not too bad, but some of them are like 0.8, 0.5s. I'm just not really interested in those. I've got 67 good batteries, of which I've got 44 batteries which are 1.8 amp hours or above. So these are all the 1.8s. As you can see, you've got quite a few there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And this goes up to here about 2 amp hours. So those are all the ones I'll probably use for projects. These I'll probably put into torches and things like that maybe. So just under half out of all the available batteries. These 4 here tested out okay, but they had a low voltage, so they sort of got internal resistance or whatever, so I probably won't use them, or maybe in a torch, I don't know. Just got to decide what to do with these and what to build, but that's my little salvaging project.